So here we are at Morelos Dam in Mexico. It's the last dam on the Colorado River. We're about to ride the historic pulse flow, and we're going to see if this river can be brought back to life, if it'll make it to the sea. The river hasn't reached the sea in nearly 30 years. I figured I'd never get another chance. Todd Lynch and Victor Leon, a sea kayaker from Ensenada, Mexico, joined me in northern Baja. We expected to find a parched desert, but there's water everywhere in the delta, in irrigation canals and puddled at the edge of farm fields. The water's everywhere but in the riverbed, which before the pulse arrived was covered in sand so dry it sucked the moisture out of my skin. The pulse will put 105,000 acre-feet of water back into the river. That's a little more than 34 billion gallons. It sounds like a lot, but it's less than 1% of the water that historically flowed through the delta each year. And no one knows whether it'll be enough. The conservationists want to bring back the willows and cottonwoods that once lined the valley. Our goal was more selfish, to see whether we could bash through the non-native reeds and tamarisk that clog the riverbed and eventually to make it to the ocean. We started on the back of the pulse, riding a flow of about 2,000 cubic feet per second. The river was like a maze, set down in the no man's land between the United States and Mexico. On river left, we'd catch glimpses of the heavy steel border fence and surveillance cameras on high masts. We're right here on the border. I think the best thing to do is try to find a sandbar, maybe that's not very accessible from either side.
Yeah.
We're camping no man's land tonight. The border should have put us on edge, but the river seemed to take us into its embrace. It put us at ease.
An old river that didn't have water a week ago. That's kind of cool.
It doesn't feel like an experiment, because I thought this is like the pulse experiment, Actually, it feels like a river. The next morning, we paddled under the San Luis Bridge into a section of river that scientists call the Hole. Here, irrigation wells have drained the water table to a depth of 45 feet. If you've ever poured a bucket of water onto a dry sand beach and watched it disappear, you understand the problem. The water was advancing more slowly than anyone had predicted, and nobody knows how much of it is still sinking into the sand. It's not looking real good right now. If you look up ahead, it's a little bit brambly vegetation. Just gonna push the boat through and see if we can make it. We traveled a little more than 40 miles, less than half the distance to the Gulf. But years of paddling have taught me never to underestimate a river, and the pulse flow isn't finished yet. It will continue into May at a baseline level, filling in the floodplains, rejuvenating the wetlands, and maybe spilling a few drops into the sea. So as of today, April 1st, 2014, this is the extent of the Colorado River. It's as far as the pulse flow has made it in about a week and a half. And as you can see, it's all overgrown with tamarisk and cottonwood and other stuff like that. So we're going to call it a trip, and we're going to come back another day.